Prime Minister Frendel Stewart has intervened in the retrenchment dispute at the National Conservation Commission. CBC understands that Mr. Stewart has summoned a meeting with all parties in the dispute at 10 tomorrow at government headquarters. The development comes 48 hours ahead of a planned strike by the employees of the NCC, who were looking to hit the streets on Monday, at least those represented by the National Union of Public Workers. The intervention by the Prime Minister follows weeks of protracted negotiations, compounded by a no-show by the NCC's General Manager, Keith Neblett, at the Labour Department. This, as Minister of Labour Dr. Esther Bayo-Sukur mediated in the impasse involving the NCC, the BWU and the NUPW over the contentious selection of more than 200 workers for retrenchment. The BWU has also summoned the NCC staff, which it represents, to an early morning meeting on Monday at its Solidarity House headquarters to update them on the impasse and to decide their next step. Culture Minister Stephen Lashley believes this year's crop over will be one of the biggest festivals ever. Ryan Broom reports.
Mr. Lashley made the comment at the crop over preview held in the National Cultural Foundation's car park at West Terrace, St. James. A few hundred people turned out for the event, which featured a number of new acts and some seasoned entertainers.
This year I predicted, and I still predict, that we will have a bigger crop over than last year. You agree? Yes, we are going to have a much bigger crop over 2014. We have been able to put before you many more events. I believe we have been able to grow the festival from, I believe we had 34 events last year. We are having even more events this year. And in addition, of course, to joining with our partners to bring to you a massive Cavalcade.
Highlighting one of the major events on the crop over calendar, Mr. Lashley says the number of four-day morning bands registered this year already well surpasses last year's total.
We have 54 bands already registered for four-day morning. Could you imagine that? 54 bands. So that's a signal that you have to get involved. I will be on the road as usual, but I want you to be on the road too.
Meanwhile, some of the new acts on the night included Sheer and Fresh from the popular Next Soca Star television show, Banks Calendar Girl Faith Calendar, and a duo called Hybrid. Performances also came from DJ Simmons, Ishaka McNeil, and James Lovell and the Haynesville Drummers. Four-day morning band Road Warriors and Kaduma bands Massive Music and Boisterous also showcased their costumes. Some of the highlight acts included reigning Pickety Crop monarch Ian Webster, reigning Sweet Soca monarch Blood, multiple former monarch Red Plastic Bag, Biggie Irie, and the Mighty Grinder. One of the next major events will be the Cavalcade this Friday. Ryan Broom for CBC News.
The first CBC crop over crawl rolled off today, and Culture Minister Stephen Lashley says it fulfilled its mandate of taking crop over to the communities. The crawl touched Western St. James, Bathsheba in St. Joseph, parts of St. Philip, the Glebe in St. George, and Stadium Road, St. Michael. While at Weston, a special tribute was paid to late Calypsonian, the Great Carew.
I think it's a fantastic event. It is one of the new events for Crop Over 2014. And what it is designed to do is to take Crop Over to a number of communities across, particularly the country side of Barbados. I think so far the response has been very, very good. And of course it's going to supplement the other events that we have in Crop Over. And I believe it certainly is going to be able to bring a lot of communities on board. Moving, of course, with the music truck and the artists to the various communities is really a fantastic opportunity to really reach into the depths of Barbados and really bringing them on board in terms of Crop Over.
Mr. Lashley also gave an update on the massive cavalcade planned for Queen's Park next Friday, May 30th.
This, of course, is a collaboration between the NCF and a number of our partners who have responded to my call to come out and actually provide the kind of financial backing for Cavalcade. I first of all want to credit those partners for coming out, because we really need to have our partners come out to make Crop Over what it should be. And it is not for the NCF only to be seen as the main financial partner in relation to a number of these events. But plans are well underway. I believe you're going to have a fantastic, huge cavalcade.
Barbados' small business sector stands to benefit from the implementation of Pillar 5 of the Human Resource Development Strategy. That's the view of Executive Director of the Small Business Association, Lynette Holder. That pillar speaks to the enhancement of research to improve innovation, entrepreneurship, and development capacity.
One of the projects that was mentioned and agreed to as a next step would be the opportunity to have the kind of research apparatus that allows us on an annual basis to collect data on the sector. There are lots of persons who pontificate about what's happening in the sector quantitatively and qualitatively, but now we believe that this project would allow us on an annual basis to be able to assess the number of firms operating in the sector.
HRDS Program Coordinator in the Ministry of Labor, Maureen Pollard, says training in the area of green energy will also be provided through Pillar 5 of the strategy.
We have not done as much as we would like to in this area, so we are looking, obviously because we are seeing the energy sector as one of the sectors that could make a difference to us in terms of economic development. So we are looking at providing a wider base of training in the area of green energy. In addition to that, a key aspect and a key indicator again, which will be measured against, will be our ability to have collaboration between the private and the public sector.
The Barbados Vocational Training Board is on the right track and is progressing well despite the many challenges facing the technical and vocational educational institution. Adequate spacing for staff and students has been identified by Director of Training Henderson Thompson as one of the hurdles. However, he's proud of its accomplishments and said thank you to employees at a staff and trainee appreciation ceremony last evening. Mr. Thompson is encouraging staff to embrace excellence and always give of their best.
Every member of this organization has an invaluable role to play. Play it well. Play it with all your integrity and with all your commitment. We all know, as we talk about appreciation, that appreciation is a wonderful thing because it makes what is good in others belong to us as well. So we want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do so today. And as Alan Cohen said, appreciation is the highest form of praise.
A number of awards was handed out during the ceremony at the National Union of Public Workers. Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labor and board member Yolande Howard is telling companies that showing their staff appreciation helps to motivate them.
There is this misconception that money is the biggest motivator, but really it is not. All of us at all levels of an organization like the feeling of somebody saying thank you. Somebody recognizing the fact that you've done something good. Somebody saying, you know, I realize that you work really hard and you're really helping us to achieve our goals. It makes us as individuals feel really good. So therefore, a function like this is particularly appropriate, and indeed appropriate at this time.
We'll have Amory Burke in sports when the evening news continues.